the routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. Today, I'm meteorologist Nick Lucchetti here at the Raleigh office, and this briefing will cover the period today, Monday, October 31st, through Sunday this week, November 6th. So I'm going to start today's briefing off a little differently. I'm going to show you all some live radar coverage, and then we'll go through the slides here afterwards. So here we have the live radar across the southeast, and as well as the overlaid surface temperatures. And I just want to highlight today, we do expect to see pretty decent coverage tonight, this afternoon into this evening and overnight hours of some rain. And as you can see, this rain is associated with a low pressure system that's currently located over South Carolina. That's helping to spawn rain in that area to our west. And you can see that the general trajectory of these rain showers out here is kind of in this northeasterly trajectory. So we'll continue to see that start, approach western portions of our area by this, afternoon. And you can also see here down to the south, we have some light echo returns kind of vecting up into our area. So what we generally expect to see is rain chances increase first across our western portions, perhaps in the triad. By early to mid-afternoon, we'll start to see rain chances increase out there, and then we'll see this fill and push northward and push east through our area into tomorrow morning. So as far as timing, the best chances of rain or rain chances increase again in the triad area, starting by mid-afternoon into the evening hours, and then as the line of precipitation pushes eastward, the best chances for rain across the central Piedmont will be more so later this evening in the, starting maybe around 8 to 9 p.m. And then continuing eastward across the coastal plain area overnight. And by tomorrow morning, we'll probably see Tuesday morning or tomorrow morning, we'll see some lingering showers, probably from Raleigh eastward, but that'll eventually push east of the area by Tuesday afternoon. So again, we're expecting pretty decent coverage in the potential for measurable rainfall starting this afternoon out west and filling eastward into the evening hours. So if you are out trick-or-treating this evening, it's probably wise to bring an umbrella or a poncho to plan ahead for that. And one last thing I wanted to mention as well, we're not expecting any widespread severe weather today with this system. However, models do show some of the convective parameters slightly enhanced later this evening, primarily south and east of Raleigh. So we can't fully roll out a potentially isolated, stronger to potentially severe storm. But again, those parameters are pretty negligible overall, but there is a non-zero threat for perhaps an isolated severe storm. Again, primarily across the south and east later tonight and this evening. So with that, I'll go ahead and pull up the slide deck here, and we'll go through some more information about today and for the rest of the week. So here is the upcoming pattern for this week. Again, today, which is shown here, excuse me, in the upper left panel, again, we have this area of low pressure and some associated fronts moving through, producing pretty decent coverage and rain later today and overnight into tomorrow morning. So again, rain chances are going to increase from the west to the east during this time period. And again, we can't rule out perhaps maybe an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm later tonight. Again, that rain we'll maybe see some, we'll likely see some lingering rain showers tomorrow morning, mostly across the east, and that'll pull off to our east by tomorrow afternoon. But with that, because there's lingering, low level moisture hanging around, I just want to highlight that there could be some areas of fog tomorrow morning as we approach the commute hours, early morning commute hours. Particularly across the south and east has the highest chance to see some of that. Not really expecting widespread dense fog or anything, but it was worth mentioning as some of the guidance is producing some areas of fog in these areas tomorrow morning. So this system will pull out by midweek. So as we go into Wednesday into Thursday, we'll generally see dry conditions. However, it looks like there'll be some lingering cloudy conditions on Wednesday before sun returns on Thursday. So generally cloudy and relatively mild conditions by midweek, as we'll see high pressure build in from the west, as you can see in this upper right panel here. And that high pressure is going to hang around for a while as we approach the later this week and then the upcoming weekend. You can see here in the lower left panel, high is pretty much right over top of us, and then it slowly shifts offshore. But with that, we'll likely see dry conditions through this weekend, and we'll likely also see a warming trend with highs returning to the upper 70s and lower 80s by this weekend. So that's the upcoming weather pattern. So how much rain can we expect this week? For today through tomorrow, the forecast, the QPF forecast is we're generally expecting anywhere from a quarter of an inch to half inch, maybe perhaps some isolated pockets up to 3/4 of an inch. But overall, generally expecting a quarter inch to half inch today through tomorrow. And then you can see for the rest of the week, as that high pressure builds in, we're not really expecting any accumulating precipitation at all. So if we look at the 7-day total here in the lower right, you can see that matches very closely to what we see today in this upper left panel. So most of the rain is going to fall, or pretty much all of it, today into tomorrow morning. So that's the precipitation forecast through the next 7 days. This slide just shows the Storm Prediction Center's weather outlooks for the next several days, and we are currently outlooked in what's called general thunder. You can see here in the upper left corner for today. Again, I touched on this earlier. Overall, we're not expecting any widespread severe weather. However, again, we could see potentially an isolated strong to severe storm, particularly across the south and east later this evening. And then for the rest of the period, we don't have any severe potential. This is the Weather Prediction Center's excessive rainfall outlook. We're not expecting any flash flooding with this system today. However, I thought it was worth noting that you could see potentially a brief burst of heavier rain with today's precipitation as it comes through. But again, overall, I'm not expecting any flooding concerns. Kind of switching up here really quickly. We're still in hurricane season, so I wanted to show you the tropical weather outlook. So this is the latest one from the Hurricane Center, and they are currently monitoring what's called potential tropical cyclone 15. And I think this morning they updated it and gave it an 80% chance of developing tropical storm conditions in the next several days. However, there's nothing to be concerned about here locally, as the trajectory and the forecast path takes this storm into directly westward into Mexico. So here locally, we don't have to be concerned with anything tropical wise, but we'll continue to monitor as we approach the end of the hurricane season and beyond. Again, switching up here, just a really quick look ahead, kind of into the medium, or I guess, sorry, the long range. This is the Climate Prediction Center's 8 to 14-day temperature and precipitation outlook. So this is for the period covering November 7th to November 13th. And you can see on this the left panel here, the temperature outlook calls for greater chances for above normal temperatures in this period. And then if we look at the rainfall outlook on the right here, there's slightly better chances for above normal rainfall during this period as well. So it looks like we'll continue to see some warmer temperatures for this time of year in the foreseeable future. So lastly, just a quick summary slide. Again, today we'll have our best chances for rain for the entire 7-day period. So we'll see rain chances increase across the west later this afternoon, pushing eastward through the area overnight. And with that, again, we're not expecting widespread severe weather. However, we could see potentially an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm, especially across the south and east as this line of rain pushes through. And another thing to mention too, again, we could see some areas of fog develop early tomorrow morning, especially across the south and east as well. As we go, excuse me, into the midweek, by Wednesday, this rain will have pushed out, and we'll still see some cloudy conditions, but it'll be generally mild. And then by Thursday, sunny conditions should return to the area. And then as we approach into the weekend, as high pressure builds in, we'll see a warm up into the upper 70s to 80s by Saturday and Sunday. So some warm weather on the way. And with that, I'd like to thank you all for attending, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.